It is always, for me, a happy day when we have someone at the company that's doing so well that we can give them more responsibility. Particularly in an employee-centric culture, being able to make the statement that you've helped grow and develop someone and someone has learned under your watch to the point where they can take the next step forward in their careers is just a great thing and something that should be celebrated. And we always try to promote from within whenever possible when we have a new job open. And it creates a great ripple effect for the rest of the organization. Sometimes you have to acknowledge that that's not possible and that you actually need a skill set that doesn't exist inside your company today. Unless your company is growing at lightning speed, you can usually balance out internal promotions with external hires somewhere around 50-50. We've run over the years into, I think, two main challenges around promotions, and they're both worth acknowledging. The first one is title inflation. I don't know a CEO who isn't frustrated with title inflation in a growing organization, because the reality is what makes for a good vice president of something when you're 25 people doesn't necessarily make for a good vice president of something when you're 100 people. And I've actually just never heard a great rule of thumb about how to handle this other than to be very, very, very parsimonious with titles early on. The second challenge, and this is probably a bigger and a more important one around promoting people, is promoting people to the level at which they're no longer capable of doing their job. The problem is that the things that make someone a good sales manager or the things that make someone a good engineering manager are really different from the things that make them a good sales producer or a good engineer. So you take one of your best producers out of their role, and then you end up burning them out as a manager because they're really not capable of doing that job. So you almost always not only lose the person from the production role, but you've lost them as a manager too. And sometimes you have someone that's got that management aptitude and they're interested in doing it, and it's a natural promotion. Other times the person doesn't have that aptitude or doesn't even have that interest, but believes, probably because society conditions us that way, that the way to get ahead in life is to get promoted into management, that the way to make more money is to become a manager. This is without question one of the hardest things to get right with management, and sometimes it's not possible to get right. Sometimes you have someone who wants to be a manager so badly that if you don't give them the role, they're going to leave and get it somewhere else, and honestly, the best thing you can do is let them go somewhere else. We try to do a couple of things around that. The first is that we open up our basic level of management training to people who are aspiring managers, not just people who are managers, and that gives us an opportunity to assess how some of those people do as they go through management training and whether they have the inclination to do it and the aptitude to do it well. We try very hard, particularly in those areas like sales and engineering, to make it not just okay, but to make it great to be a senior individual contributor so that someone can continue to progress in their career in terms of title, in terms of compensation, and in terms of more interesting projects as they get more senior, but still stay as an individual contributor.